A new study shows significant room for improvement at America's colleges and universities. 2 researchers followed students for years, and they found high percentages of college students who do not get any better at writing or critical thinking.
So at sites like Read My Professor, students have the ability to look at past comments of students who've had professors with their course load, their reading level, how much reading, how much writing is required, and just a general attitude and how tough they are at grading, which makes it easy for students to pick professors who are easier.
Go.
We study what we know is going to be on the test. If more pages were assigned, who would read it?
Go.
Students take these classes because they're available for them, and if they're available, why not take them and go out the easier way? If you can still get the same amount out of the work that you're given, if you were given more work or less work, then why not go for it? And also, professors have their own teaching styles, and not many professors give out as much work as some professors do.
Small but obvious reason why these students take these type of courses is mainly because the cost of the books these days, they're very expensive, and students are paying for other things that are going on with their lives right now.
Is studying today even effective? With the different studies we have showing that people learn different ways, such as auditory, tactile, and textual, couldn't we apply this to our studying methods and change traditional studying into something more effective?
Anytime you're ready, man.
Okay, when I was a kid, I was diagnosed with ADD, which, if you don't know what that is, basically it's attention deficit disorder, which makes it really hard for you to do things like pay attention and to memorize things. Like in grade school, when you were prompted to memorize like 15 spelling words. And sure, great words, but you know, if you're trying to memorize them and it takes you 5 hours to do it alone, it's not really gonna help you. And how does memorization, how is that supposed to help you at all? It doesn't make sense.
Now, see, my problem with studying, at least with respect to how Academically Adrift views it, is that there are a lot of teachers out there that really don't teach very well and therefore don't demand very much of their students. So while students do have the responsibility of studying, I think it's really up to the teacher to demand something that's more academically rigorous so that people are motivated to study. And we do have that problem. I think it's partially the problem of professors and partially the problem of students.
Basic information on the pie chart. I feel that statistics don't really apply to everybody else on this campus. Because we have different students that they have different lives. Like some students work more, so they go to school part-time, so they study less, or they have less of a social life. Or you have kids that do the exact opposite. They don't go to class, they have a huge social life, they probably either drink or party all the time, or they go on a computer all the time, or they work a lot because they can't really afford to pay for school. So, I mean, I feel that the way the pie chart is, it shows that more than half of the students socialize more than anything else. I don't think it really applies.
Now, my main response to this is yes, I think a lot of students actually do,
sleep too much and socialize too much, but it has to do with what our society demands too. Do they actually want to be in college, or are they being forced to get a college degree just because of the field they want to go into, or maybe their parents are forcing them too? It comes down to whether they actually want to be learning what they're learning in college, or whether they feel that they don't really have a choice.
So I definitely agree with the results of the survey, but I really think that students work a lot more than 9% of the time. I mean, I work at least 30 hours a week, and on this campus, a lot of students aren't traditional students. They have family responsibilities and work-related responsibilities that consume the majority of the time.
You know, I'm looking at this graph, this pie chart right here, and it kind of reminds me of Pac-Man, you know. All my time on recreation and just sleeping, it looks like Pac-Man. And like all the other more productive time, it's like the little food that it eats. And you know, it feels like that all it's doing is just eating away all my productivity. It's like it's not going to stop until it's all gone.
I really don't think that college students spend 52% of their time socializing or on Facebook, because that's like 3.5 days. And I think that they spend way more time at work or studying, because those pieces of the pie chart were way smaller. So,
Professors have office hours that are convenient for students. I have one professor whose only office hours are during one of my classes.
Sometimes professors aren't approachable.
I feel like a lot of professors think that all students are the same. For them, we're there to sit down, take notes, and get out. And students need a connection, but most professors aren't interested in that. They just want us to pass.
So I feel like the relationship between students and professors is always going to be kind of awkward and disconnected until they change the way we're graded. Like the way the curriculum is now, I feel like we're not really graded on how well we truly understand information, or you know, how much we connect with our professor. We're more so graded on if we attend class or complete online quizzes or something like that, how well we test. So that doesn't really challenge us to have any sort of relationship with a professor. It's just kind of simple, and I feel like professors feel the same way about students.
The mini video camera. All right, go.
Right. Personally, the easier the class is, I tend to slack off, knowing that I could possibly get it done last second, certain work, and I don't give it 100%, but the harder the class is, I try harder because I know it's going to be tougher, and I try to meet the teacher's expectations.
If a professor of mine was to push me harder with the workload and the expectations they have of me in class, I'm more likely to put more time and effort and my dedication into the class and learn, rather than if they're not going to show any kind of interest in what they're teaching us, I'm just not going to put my effort into it.
Fire.
When a professor expresses that they have higher expectations for the students in the class, I think it kind of weeds out the people who don't take the classes serious, and it creates a more serious and more productive learning environment for the class as a whole.
Students tend to respond to a challenge more. With less free time, there's less of an option for procrastination.
Every college student tends to rush their gen eds for their major. Instead of rushing through the gen eds to the major, why don't we just do our major now and get it over with, and then we can do our gen eds without having to rush them, and we can take our time through our gen eds, and we can devote all our time to our gen eds, and then we can become more educated in our background of our gen eds.
Gen eds take too long. One, because they're not offered in every semester, and two, they can conflict with the other classes.
Even if you take nothing but gen eds, it could still take 3 or 4 semesters to finish all of them. That's time that could be put towards your major, instead of just stuff that you really won't need in your major's area.
I think RIC professors treat gen eds as if it's a continuation of high school. Instead of being a college freshman or sophomore, it's more of if you're in 13th and 14th grade. If gen eds are a requirement, I think we should be able to be placed out of them, because why waste your time and money on a subject that you already know?
Overall, the general education courses are pointless and monotonous. The courses that we are required to take as prerequisites should count, not be made to take core 1, 2, 3, and 4 when they really have nothing to do with what we want to do in our lives.
Go.
This is what we think of gen eds.
Is that it?